All right, welcome back. So I want to try some things. This is going to be one of my first videos, an idea to see if these are even something that you'd be interested in. But I've been on Twitter today, on my philosophy channel Twitter or whatever, but I still follow a lot of crypto people over there. So, I mean, I guess I can share. We won't hide who I am, but you probably shouldn't follow me on Twitter unless you like bad comedy. I shouldn't say bad comedy, but dark comedy and stuff. It's me and a lot of comedians joking around, having fun or whatever. But I do follow and get a lot of information from stuff like Beefy Finance. So Beefy Finance has been posting a lot of stuff. And for those that don't know about DeFi or whatever, and I'm going to be doing a podcast coming up. We're going to be recording the first one. Um, what's today? The 24th. So tomorrow night at like 10 p.m., I'm meeting with a friend. We're going to do a podcast, and that's going to be called The Idiot Investor. And we're going to go through the basics of Bitcoin and stuff. I'm going to post the outlines on Dave Wright, the Thinker website, so that people can follow along, because that's my particular website. I'm going to try and build, bring it up here. I'm going to try and build this out, the philosophy stuff. So I'll put the outlines here. This is going to be my main podcast, but on here I'm going to do some of the extra stuff that we walk through and go through. But anyways, what I thought was interesting is with DeFi, for instance. I'll do a little brief thing for me, right? So if I was going to go to beefyfinance.com, you basically launch the app here, and I am actually logged in here. Let me pull my Metamask so you guys can't steal my life identity. I'm gonna put my password in here to lock it in, baby. So I'm locked in, and when you're here, I don't really want to go over too much of my personal stuff. If this shows the amount of money that I have, can you see this on the screen? Yeah, this is my deposits. This is my monthly yield. This is my daily yield and my average. And so, giving you an idea, one of the things that I'm currently in is this right here. I put a little under $1,000. Oh, a little under 2,000. So I put, this is back on the 19th. So we got the 19th, 20th, 21, 22, 23, 24. So it's 6 days. And I had 1952 in there to start, and I have 2080 right now. And if you look here at these numbers, I'm just getting used to being able to see my screen here and what you guys are seeing here. So I just want to make sure that they're coinciding. So here's my original deposit. This was 1,952, and it's currently worth 2,080. And of that, 69.68, which is 3.46%, these are yields and fees collected. So I'm getting here's an APY is 744.27, and the APR is 213.43. The difference is Beefy will auto compound for you. So the 213.43 is if it auto compounds for you on a daily basis, that's your APR. And then roughly I'm getting 0.58% per day. But it's been higher than that because if you can see, the 69.68 is the fees that I'm getting. What's happening is you have these tokens, OVN-USD, and people want to trade those. And every time they trade those through a pool, we have some of those in the pool that we're holding, and we get a small fee from that. And the fee is based on the demand. I'm not going to go too in depth in that, but it looks like my total so far from those 6 days is $127.96. So it's very interesting that you can put little under $2,000 into something in a couple of days, pull this type of percentage. So one thing that I wanted to do though is I'm going to pull up, and I got to make sure that I do this off screen because I don't want don't want you guys to see my personal information. So this is what I got to get used to when I film this stuff. It's pulling this stuff up on this screen here. Perfect. So let me pull up, see if this pulls up on the other screen here. Perfect. So I have a spreadsheet that I can't show you publicly. That's the way that I chart this and treat it as a business, but it's got links to the position here, my entry dates and stuff like that, and then it's got some charting. So I wanted to show you the chart here, and hopefully this shows. This is a site called dexscreener.com, and you basically punch in the pair that you have in the site. So if you're on Beefy here, this is OVN-USD, and this is on the Aerodrome website. So it's on the base chain, as you can see here, and it's on the platform Aerodrome. So now we could go directly to Aerodrome, right? And you could go right into their finance site as well, and you could do it there. It wouldn't auto compound for you, but you would get your daily fees. I'm actually logged into this. I do stuff on here as well. And you could find this pair on here, and you could buy it there as well. And you'd actually make a little bit more money, but you have to do a little bit more work. So what I have charted here, just for my own sake, is I kind of went through, I did 6 months, I did 2-hour blocks. So if you're not familiar with these charts, if you've probably seen them online if you're here, but you haven't seen a lot of them. This is 6, so you can do, you can do 5 years, 1 year. I'm just doing 6 months. This is the 6-month marker, and it shows that this particular pairing, this coin, this is OVN paired with USD. USD Plus is basically a token that is pegged to the US dollar. So that's a kind of a stable coin that stays around $1, give or take. And OVN is on the base chain. I don't want to get too into it in this video. These are terms that we'll go over in the Idiot Investor. But you can see here, and let me just check to make sure. Yeah. This is going up, 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 all the way here. So this is on April 10th. If you look down the bottom, I can't move the cursor, but on April 10th, it reached a peak, and it's been slowly going down. So back on, here's my entry point, July 19th. I did this, and here's my price entry point right here. So it was $43.13, and it's gone up, 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 and then and I think that this projected high from the recent occurrences, you had some highs back here, you had a kind of a run here when it went high, but most of it hasn't really been breaking this point here of this $54. And then if you go back here, it's the same thing. The bottom of this trend is roughly around $30. So it's been going up. It's stopping around that 54, coming down, and not really breaking. It's getting resistance at the 30 mark, and so on and so forth. So when I saw, and I watched this back on July 4th, it hit that 30 mark. It went up. I wasn't sure if it was going to continue. Then it started going down. Then I had entered here, and I got out here, and then I re-entered. So this was the current entry point for me. I treat this like a business. On the 19th, I've been getting all these fees. It went up, and then if you can see, it took a dive on the 24th here. So this morning it went kind of down, but it kind of rallied, and this was when I last checked it a few hours ago. I had a 7.6%. So if you go over here, it's down to 6.55%. And if I take this marker again and I move this down to the current price, you'll see that it's the movement part of it from where my entry fee is to where it's sitting right now. It's gone up 4.74% in price, but I've got 3.46 in fees. And why am I showing you all this? So I have to start making into some decisions, because if this dips down past my entry point, right, I'm going to start losing some of these profits here. Now, if it hits my entry point, I still have this $70 in fees, but there's an additional $60 here in profit from the actual asset going up. I had thought, or my original idea was that it was going to take until about here, which would be the 26th, for this to dip back down. It took a big dive this morning. And if you look at the bottom here, this shows you your volume. So not only did that go down, but there was a lot of volume of people trading it. But then when it went back up, it was the same thing. There was a huge volume. Now you can see that volume a little bit better here. 2 minutes ago, somebody got out. They sold 1,000. And then right before that, they had bought, they bought. So you can use this to kind of see what's going on. So you have a lot of sales here for a low amount, some buybacks, back and forth. Here's a ton of buys here. So this is probably this huge spike here that you're seeing is probably that. I don't know if you can see that on the screen here. I guess I could change it down to like 30 minutes and that would show a little bit better. So this right here, these buys, is this going back up, is probably all this. And then all these reds here are this, and so on and so forth. Let me pull this back down. So what you're looking to do, what you're looking to do is kind of in your mind see patterns. And I'm not going to do full technical analysis. There's other ways to do this. There's other layers of stuff, but I just wanted to show you, you can get a base idea of a trend of something. So for example, if you could see that this has really been hitting this top point here in this pairing on Beefy, even though it was giving you this huge APR, if it was at this point here, you might not want to buy in, because the chances of breaking that line and going high are low when it keeps hitting that line. But if it's down here, then it might be a good time to buy, because you figure, well, it's been hitting resistance at 30 and it's going up. So it's most likely going to continue to at least go up to here, if not all the way here. So you'd be catching both ends of it. So you can see these patterns and stuff. So like I said, this is Beefy's been talking about this a little bit on their site. I'm in this particular position, so I thought that I would show you how I have some charts. So on my spreadsheet, I have my original entry point on there. I have how much I have now, my continuous yield, this particular percentage that will change, my profit and loss, and then another link to these charts. And you treat the whole thing like a business. So when you're trying to make your decisions, you can make it based on this. Like I said, I'm going to be watching this on a daily basis. And tomorrow morning, it's probably going to be very interesting, because this might be close to my entry level. And if that dips down under my entry level, I'm either going to have to hold out for it to maybe go all the way down to the bottom and up, or I'm going to have to pull that money. And that's the good thing. So with Beefy, and let me give you this, I should have been on my share screen there. If it hits this entry point here and it goes down below it, I'm probably going to want to get out, because it's going to dip all the way down here. But if it bounces and it starts going back up where it stays stable, I'll be collecting those fees. And the beauty of trading in decentralized finance like this is if I think it's going to take off again, like it goes here and it starts going up, this trend goes up and I want to put more money in, you literally just hit deposit here. You select maybe I want to take this arrow and put it in there and transform it in there. It literally just a couple of buttons, and I would click in. I have my cold wallet ledger off screen. I put some codes in and it's on. If I need my money back, there's no third parties. I don't know if you guys were familiar when they shorted GameStop on Robinhood. Robinhood shut down the site. People couldn't get their money out. There's no gatekeepers. These are smart contracts. So I'm sharing here. If I wanted to withdraw, I could say I want to take it out in Arrow. I would take it out in Arrow. I would hit max. I have 280 in there. It would give me 277 after fees. I could just hit this button. Well, this is just going to switch me over to base because that is the particular chain that it's on. I could hit withdrawal all and I would get it out. I could take it out in USDC if I wanted USDC, a stable coin. If I were to take it out in USDC, it's going to cost me a little bit more. So I would lose $13 to take this out in USDC. So you got to make sure that you realize that you're going to be paying fees. And the reason you're paying more fees here is Beefy's taking a cut and there's gas fees. These people are getting paid. So if you wanted to do something like I was saying, that's where if you go to a site like Aerodrome Finance, and this video is a little bit longer than I thought that it may be. You can also go over here and you can look at liquidity pools. Let's go to the main dashboard here. What is going on? I figured I'd get to liquidity pools. Incentives should just be right here, right? Oh, it's loading. So while this loads, okay. So when you're here, if you look for OVN, here is there's the Aero OVN, and then this is the OVN-USD. So here's the actual pool that I'm in on the actual website. It shows you the TVL, which is the total value locked. You see that this has got a lot of value locked here. When you're over on Beefy, you can see how much Beefy has locked by going down and checking out their historical prices here and scrolling over the different stuff and strategies and stuff that Beefy has. So this is a third party. This makes it easier for you. This is not financial advice. Hold on. This is not financial advice. I'm just simply showing you what I'm doing, projects that I'm working on to get your head going. Okay. So Beefy will tell you how much that they have locked up, but what they're actually doing is facilitating a compounding trading site here. But this is the actual pool. So up here, you can see that it says Aerodrome on the base chain. Here's the actual site that has it. Here's the actual thing. So if I were to deposit money in here, you would connect your wallet. And the other thing too that Beefy has that makes it a little bit easier is this right here, this little lightning thing. This is trading it for you. So it's doing a lot of work. See this little lightning bolt here? That is converting whatever you're having and paying a fee. So if you have USDC, it's actually buying the OVN and the USDC plus for you. Whereas if you do it yourself on the Aerodrome Finance Network, you'll pay less fees, but you'll have to go out and you'll actually have to buy the OVN and you'll have to buy the USD. So I would come in here to swap. I would go to OVN, and then I would have to put some money in there. Actually, I would put, if I had, I guess I had ETH in this wallet, so I would take ETH and I would put it in there. And if I was going to buy OVN, it'd be looking for some quotes for me. And then I would buy this. I would put this OVN in my wallet. And then I would also have to take ETH and I would have to buy USD plus. And so you would have to balance each half of the thing. So if you were going to buy, you're putting a paired token in there. It's a liquidity token or an LP. What does LP stand for? That's a good question, right? So let's go to my software here. See, this is good. So I think I know this stuff, but do I is the question sometimes, right? There's my script from the do I already have it? No. So what does LP stand for in crypto? I know it's liquidity something. Liquidity provider. Thank you. And so basically you're creating so in order to go in and provide this liquidity on the OVN, what you're doing is you're buying some OVN and some USDT in equal parts. You're pairing them together, and then you're putting them on here. And as people trade in those two assets, you're getting a piece of the fees. You're offering them a service so that they can get these items out of the pool. Basically, you know, if you have apples and you have oranges, right, and you want to trade those for that, but in the meantime, the person that has the oranges and the apples is not available or doesn't want them, basically somebody's putting a big barrel of apples and oranges, so you can put some apples into that bucket, and then the person who wants the oranges can take the oranges out of that bucket. And the thing that also that Aerodrome is doing, if you have $1, they're taking the dollar and giving you access to apples and oranges so that you can be part of that pool if you want apples and oranges. That's the kind of the simple way to look at it. So I think that's enough for this. This is just one position. But let me know if these videos are helpful to you. They're too fast, they're too slow. It's something you'd be interested in. There is a lot of people that do these already. So I like to do them if you like me. I'd like to do them for you so that it'll help me learn a little better. I do have a DeFi business called Liquidity, where I am earning fees like this, like I showed you here. I'll go back to the main thing just on Beefy right here. On the main screen, I've put about $7,500 into this over the last month. I've made about $1,000. I'm making about $29 a day in an average of 361 APY, which is pretty crazy. So if you're interested in little things of how I'm doing this, then follow along, subscribe here. Let me know if the channel's still active. And also, if you're interested in the mindset stuff, please go over to Dave Wright the Thinker, which is my YouTube channel there too, and check out some of the philosophy stuff. And if you want to search for it, head over to the website, davewrighthethinker.com. So, okay, I appreciate your time. And I got to get used to switching back and forth because I'm having those talks. I should be like this, looking right at you. And when I'm going over the screen, I should have it like this. But anyways, thank you for your time. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if this channel is still active or not, because I'm not sure if it is. Okay, thank you so much.